Our quote for the day from Patty D. This was such a powerful video. I've had to forgive my fair share of people over the years, and it's not been easy. What I found is that when I was able to collect myself and really think it through, by letting it go, I was freeing myself from the bitterness and the resentment.
Well, good morning, everybody. It's DearMamaSal, and it's Wednesday. It's quite a mild 6 degrees in Canada, and that would be equivalent of 41 for those of you living in any country that doesn't do centigrade. We won't mention which country that will be. I still can't get over that. The rest of the world just about converts, and a certain country, major country, doesn't. But never mind. The good news is that means that we all know exactly what the other country is suffering from. It's a very pretty day at the moment. Actually, pretty-ish, let's put it that way. It's overcast, but the sun is trying to sort of shine its way through, which is really cute. So you've got all sorts of different colours in the clouds. And I'm hoping it doesn't rain, because as you can see, I have a warm coat on, not a raincoat. So, oh well. Wet hair would be the worst, right? And it's not like that's a big problem for me. In as much as, when I leave work, I haven't got to go to 16 functions or meet some gorgeous guy or something. I'm just going to get in the car and go home, if any of you understand that one. So I'm beginning to get sort of geared up in my mind to go away. It sounds like I've got a boy eraser somewhere up ahead of me. Somebody who's taken the baffle plates out of their exhaust system, and what fun. I remember those days. Anyway, I'm beginning to get ready to go away for the weekend, and I'm going to do twin exhausts, that's why. Anyway, I'm going to do my wash tonight, so that I can pack tomorrow night. Not that I've got a lot to pack, of course. And then I'm going to go. I've decided to go earlier than everybody else on Friday, and the reason is because I can. Right, Friday is my day off, so I can go up earlier. So I'm going to meet one of the 4 women up there. On the way, which will be nice to meet somebody new, and it also means I can do the trip in daylight, which I prefer. Especially as I've never been there before. If I had been there before, that would be a different issue, but I've never been there before, so I would rather go there with somebody, go in convoy with somebody, than just try and find my own way there in the dark. And the reason is that it's not like an easy place to find. Or it probably is once you know, like everything else in life, right? Once you know what you're doing, it's dead easy. But I don't know that area at all. And therefore I would like not to end up totally lost, desperately in need of a washroom, and no idea where to find one. I don't know if any of you relate to that, but if you're old enough to, then you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm just making plans with the one person to meet them halfway, between where I get off the ferry and where we have to go. And that'll be fun. And then we will go and get the house warmed up and get the wine chilled and some appetizers on the go. And then we're going to have some fun. I really didn't know what to do for dinner last night. Do you ever have one of those days where you're going, I really was very tired. I think we all went out at work to celebrate a colleague's birthday. And there was, I think, a little bit more garlic powder in the food that I had than I had bargained for, because I was so tired the whole afternoon. I was really struggling just to keep my eyes open. Never mind work. Oh, just talking about that made me tired. Anyway, I was really struggling, and so that sometimes happens when there was, a fair amount of garlic powder in the food. There's a reason why I started talking about that. I wonder what it was. Oh yeah, I didn't know what to do for dinner. Yeah, because I'd been out for lunch, and so I wasn't that hungry. And so I came back and I found out that Laurie wasn't that hungry either. And so it's my week to cook, and I thought, gosh, I just don't know what to cook. There are lots of things. I mean, there's plenty of stuff for me to cook. Anyway, what I decided to do in the end was to do like pita pockets, not pita pockets, but pizza pockets. So I took a wrap and filled it up with I don't know if I've told you this before, I'm sure I have in my tips of the day, but when I open up a can of pizza sauce, because normally I'm only cooking for one, I freeze the rest of the pizza sauce in ice cubes, in an ice cube tray, so that whenever I need a little bit of pizza sauce, I can grab, 1 or 2 or 3 ice cubes of pizza sauce. And that's what I did last night. I just took them out and I put them in the microwave. Spread that over a wrap, a whole wheat wrap, and then filled it up with cheese and peppers, mandarins, that was right, and ham, very thinly sliced ham, and then rolled it up and put it on my George Foreman grill. Pizza pocket, and it was just enough for me, and so that was great. But of course, in the meantime, what did I know? I had also mixed up some of that no-knead bread in the morning. I just quickly put it together before I went to work and left it on my countertop while I was at work, and by the time I got home last night, it was risen up beautifully. It had risen up and it was big and bubbly, and it looked so good. And so I took a spatula and took it out of the container onto a floured countertop, and I turned it around a couple of times just to give it a little bit of flour on top, and then baked it. So for dessert, we had fresh bread and apricot jam, or for those of you who say it a different way, apricot jam. It's very difficult, this multilingual stuff. So that was fine. And then the joke was that on Sunday we missed our Halloween treat, because once a week we're allowed a handful of Halloween treats, and we still have them. And we didn't get any on Sunday, so then I went to Laurie and I said, that was right, when I I took her Oh no, I got to go back a step. We did have dessert. We had a small waffle cone with ice cream, because we allow ourselves that every couple of weeks, and that was really good. Anyway, because then that was a bad thing to do, because then I had a sweet tooth. So then I realized I couldn't do the fresh bread and apricot/apricot jam for dessert, because we'd already had dessert. That was the ice cream. So then I went to Laurie and I said, would you like some breakfast? And she looked at me and said, breakfast? And I said, well, yes, I know we've had dinner and I know we've had dessert, so I wondered if you'd like breakfast. And she got that. She understood what I meant. So she said, sure, what's for breakfast? I said, fresh baked bread and apricot jam. So she said, I'd love breakfast. So that's what we had. And then, of course, we found the Halloween candy. So then I went back and I went, what about lunch? She said, what about lunch? I said, would you like some? No, she said, I'm fine, really. I don't think I need lunch. No. And I said, okay, fine. And then held up the bag. That was obviously the Halloween treats. You have no idea how quickly she followed me. Because she knows if she's not there to monitor me, I can eat the whole lot. So that made for a fun evening. The kid in me was very pleased, and there was absolutely no point in weighing myself this morning, because that is how I lose the Battle of the Bulges. But that said, it was fun. I've still got a bit of a cold in my nose, as you can probably hear. Nothing serious. I'm still working on the five juices every day. Is it 5? Grapefruit, grapefruit, mandarin, orange, apple. 4. So I do 4 fruits a day of juicing, and then I take half of it to work. In one of those containers that I have, I half fill it with this juice of the fruits, and then I fill it up with ice cubes, so it acts as an ice pack for my lunch. But by the time I want to drink it, which is the afternoon, it is still cool, and it still sometimes has some ice cubes in it, but it's works like a hot damn. It's great. And then when I get home, I drink the other half. Same thing, half a glass, and then I fill it up with ice cubes, and during the course of the evening I just take that much more fiber in. So, but more important than the fiber, I'm taking that much vitamin C in and trying to protect myself from a full-blown cold, which I seem to have done. I've got a little bit of what I call sinus congestion, but I'm not doing the, touch wood, doing the sneezing stuff. I get a little bit of a cough at night. Just around about 7 o'clock I seem to get a cough. But then a swig of the Buckley's, that sorts that out in no time. I was really glad to get a reply from Ashlee last night. She was talking about that subject we were talking about yesterday, which was forgiveness. Now, as you may know, if anybody had a reason to forgive people, it was Ashlee, who, you know, at a young age, maybe 12 or 13, got hit by a softball in the rump. And one thing led to another. And that simple accident and some pretty bad moves by some surgeons ended up with Ashlee in a wheelchair for life. So if anybody had reason to be very bitter and angry, I guess you could say that Ashlee did. And Ashlee has learned to forgive everybody. And she wrote a really nice response last night. So if any of you are having any trouble with forgiveness, write to me, and I will, with Ashlee's permission, I will put you in touch with Ashlee, because she's done it. successfully. I've done it too, in my way, but sometimes, you need to hear it from more and different people, which is why we like having the DearMamaSal group of people to try and help people, because, different personalities mesh with different personalities. And it's very difficult to believe that you will be able to forgive, or that you even want to. And of course, Leslie brought up the point that we were talking about, which is, if you don't forgive, then they have control. They control your life because they keep you angry and they keep you bitter, and then they win. They win twice over. From the initial hurt and then from the residual hurt. And the greatest revenge you can ever have on these people that hurt us that badly is to live a happy life. And somewhere, as I have done, and I think Ashlee has as well from what I hear of her, turn around and realize that I would not be doing what I'm doing today if I hadn't lived the life I had at the beginning. Very unlikely. Very unlikely I'd be doing DearMamaSal today if I had lived a normal life. If I had not struggled. And so you look at it and you go, when you get to that point, it's it's a shift, because guess what? I'm not grateful for what happened to me in the true sense of the word, but I'm very grateful that I get to talk to all of you every day and get to meet some of you on the broadcasts, and then talk to you one-on-one, like we're sort of just chatting to each other, so that it's much easier for me to see that I am grateful for that. So not grateful for what happened, but grateful for the result, the end result, not the result of the anger and the pain and the it's not fair stuff, because it isn't fair. When is life fair? I mean, life isn't meant to be fair. What builds character, they tell me, is, how you handle the stuff you've been given. That's your character. Are you a whiner, or are you I don't like this, but I'll find a way out of it? Again, I ask, are you a happy person, or are you constantly complaining? Or are you pretending to be happy? Some of the time. Somebody once told me, if you want to do anything, act as if. So if you want to be rich, act as if you are. I don't mean go out and buy stuff that you can't afford, but rich people are actually quite stingy with their money. Rich people buy very selectively. They're not impulse buyers to a large extent. Now, we know a few that are, obviously, but if you want to be happy, do what happy people do. And if you want to be befriended, be a friend. Act as if you are a friendly person. And then you will get friends. If you are angry, practice not being angry. I don't know what this bus behind me is doing. It's trying to cut in for some reason, and if it does much more of it, it's going to clip the side of my Jeep. Oh, is it a bus stop right there? Maybe it is. a bit scary when you suddenly see a bus trying to cut in on your right-hand side. I guess it was bus stop. It's now holding up the whole of the traffic behind me. Not sure what all that was about. So I look at it today and I say, I don't think that I do anything particularly different from most people. But they say that your attitude will decide what sort of life you're going to have. And the one thing I do know is that the people who are interesting to me, I say interesting, are people who who have lived perfect lives and are wealthy or whatever. No. The people that are interesting to me are those who have struggled for whatever reason and who have been able to make their lives happy anyway. I find those people fascinating. Okay, so we have got lots of fire, or a fire engine ahead of us. And he's gone, so that's a 1 alarm fire. We're just coming up to, there's a fire hall just here, and that's probably why. So, I'm hoping that you guys will all shake your head a bit and go, okay, fine, today is a good day. Remember, wake up, tell yourself that every day. If you're listening to this after lunch and you've had a pretty bad day up until now, take a deep breath, hit yourself over the head with a 2x4 and go, well, that was then, and now I'm going to start again. And if you're about to go to bed, then just smile a little and say, hey, you made it. It might have been a tough day, but you made it. And tomorrow, you're going to have a better day. And I hope that you dream well and peacefully. I don't know why, but last night I had a dirty, great diesel pusher type motorhome. Don't know why that came into my dreams, but it was a very big one. And it was, even then it wasn't big enough because I had a second part to it. There was the dirty great diesel pusher side, and then there was the sort of tow along bit that matched it, of course, beautifully. And it was, funny enough, in the sort of deep aqua green that I use for my logo. And it was just like, I don't know why I was dreaming about that. I'll just have to look that up. But I was deep in that dream when I suddenly woke up and realized what the time was and thought, oh, very short word, it's time to get to work in a hurry. Because for some reason I was busy charging my cell phone and the alarm didn't go off because the actual phone was off, not on. So thank you for waking me up and making me laugh, because I did laugh, and thank you for getting me here on time to go to work. Oh, I can see some more snow on the mountains. It's definitely getting to be interesting. I turned the camera around, but you're probably not going to get a very good sense of that at the moment. But it's pretty, and what I love is, the sun's just catching the top. It's only the very tops that have got snow on them at the moment, so, but it won't be long. the temperatures dropping as they are, it won't be long before we have some serious snow on those coastal mountains. And that looks so pretty. So have fun, whatever time of the day it is. Thank you for your input each day. I really do appreciate it. And I'm sure you can understand that when I sort of do one of these vlogs, it is great to get somebody right back and let me know, this spoke to them. And it really does make me think, oh gosh, then it was worth just talking all the way to work if it helped one person. I don't expect necessarily every vlog to be of value to you, but you know what I mean? It's nice to know when it is. So for those of you who write in, I really thank you for that. And I know that you took the time to let me know it, and I appreciate that. That's really kind of you. Watch out for the potholes. Here we go. So have a great day, and I will speak to you tomorrow. And let's hope that everything goes nice and easily today, and that I can come home not quite as tired as normal. This is DearMamaSal going. Bye bye for now.